Hello, everybody, and welcome to our second edition of the Spotlight Sessions, hosted by In-House Recruitment. This session is kindly joined by Vicki Saunders, and it's going to be based around the topic of unlocking what's important for TA teams and their employer branding strategies.
Yeah.
What's your experience been of working with third parties?
Generally positive. I do sometimes feel like employer brand agencies behave more like they're a vendor and you're a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
In consumer marketing agencies, that was more 15, 20 years ago. And they've moved on more into wanting partnership relationships. And I do think that's the future for employer branding agencies as well, is to be less kind of, you're the client, you give me a brief, I'll come back with a response to brief, we make a campaign, you get some hires, we win awards. That's quite transactional, you know? And I still feel like lots of agencies in the employer branding space are still playing there, really, rather than being a strategic partner that gives strategic counsel, who is working alongside you, that like will help you win, and you winning helps us win.
Like you're both in it together. You're both going to be able to mutually kind of benefit, but it's about seeing it from that side rather than, I suppose, not just telling the agencies, not just telling the TA teams what they want to hear. It's more so, well, actually, here's cards on the table. This is why it's going to be good for us both.
Yeah. The other thing they tend to do, I suppose, probably because the scale, partly because the scale is different, right, than consumer marketing. But employer branding agencies do tend to try to come across that they can do everything that you need.
Mm-hmm.
They can be experts in building your career site and developing a beautiful interactive video, and helping you support you develop an advocacy program or whatever. And actually, sometimes that works against them. Trying to say that they can do everything makes you question. They can't possibly be brilliant at everything.
Yeah. Where's the quality drop then?
And so as a client, what you want to understand, because in a pitch you're probably speaking to, you might do a long list of 15 agencies, you might get to a short list of 7 or 8, you might take 3 through to a pitch process, and if everybody's coming along going, we can do everything, that doesn't help us narrow it down. And actually, personally, and I know more and more people in my network are saying the same thing now, I'm not actually that bothered about having everything in one place. And I know people tend to think that makes things simpler, but I do think you compromise on quality then. Whereas if you bring together, you might have a lead agency, and I would be much more comfortable if a employer brand agency came to pitch saying, what we're brilliant at is this. We're not so great at that, but what we would do is bring a subcontractor in to do that. You've got partners to do it, but be open about it. Don't try and hide that. I would much rather know transparently that I'm still getting the best combination of specialist skills for my business from whatever mix of partners it is, rather than trying to blag it and say that they can do everything brilliantly.